Hey, and we're back for another stream.
Back again.
Yeah, and this time though a little bit more serious stuff compared to last time. Basically just going through games last time.
Yeah, this one's going to be a bit more politically oriented, which that's some days are a little bit more lighthearted than others. That's the way these things work.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes it's a little bit more serious because we basically talk about stuff that we find interesting and something we follow and it's kind of part of the community we are a part of, like YouTube and just generally on the internet sphere. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a list we want to go through. So
The usual
let's start
stuff,
off
and
with
and just as a
we
reminder for all of our listeners, both on YouTube and on D Live, if you have a comment you want to chime in, by all means. This is an opportunity to if you want to ask a question, or if you want to add your own response, by all means, sound off in either of the chats. I'm watching the D Live, and Andrew Doll's watching the YouTube chat. So between the two of us, by all means.
yeah. Just before we start, is there anything interesting you've done this past week? Anything you've played
Well, I had
or
actually a really fascinating interview with an ex developer for an online game called Warframe.
that's
That
correct.
was last Tuesday for my Creative Tuesday stream. We sat down, we talked for God, it was like 2 hours, I want to say, just talking about game design and how you put together systems, and that was actually a lot of fun. I'll let me I'll pull up the link and I'll send it to you, Andrew, so you can put it into the YouTube chat, and I'll update the Discord. I'll update the D Live post with the link as well. Here we go.
Yeah, because the chat is also gonna be on the replay, I believe, when people are watching it over,
Awesome.
so they can actually see the chat.
Good. So
Um,
yep, and I got my chat. I got it in my chat as well, and then I'll update the description as well
yeah,
in there
yeah.
later.
So you had that. Is there anything you played or watched that was interesting this last week?
Um, been playing a lot more Warframe again on PC. I'm coming up on 100 hours on PC, so catching up to my Xbox profile pretty quick.
Mm.
I finished the War Within yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. Really recently. So now now I can run around in my operator and go do fun stuffs and all that fun jazz. So that's kind of cool. That's fun. I'm enjoying that.
All right.
What about
Anything
you?
you?
What have you been playing?
Oh, okay. Well, I basically been playing a little bit of this and that. I've been playing Gran Turismo again. I'm
Nice.
still trying to get the platinum for Battlefront 2. It's taking forever, and
Yeah.
this is the last. I believe in 11 or 10 days, something like that. The new PES is gonna come out, so still
Yeah.
playing that because I have I have some time and money invested in that game. So why not just squeeze the last drops of it out
Why not?
before yeah. And I watched Jurassic Park, the new one yesterday.
Oh, the Jurassic World, the Lost
Fallen,
Kingdom, or something like that.
yeah, Fallen Kingdom or whatever
Oh,
it's called.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a stupid popcorn flick. So there's not much logic in it, but it's
Which is a
fun.
shame compared to the Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park movie, the prior movies. I mean,
Yeah,
they were pretty smart for even back then for their time. That was a pretty smart flick.
yeah. It seemed more like because it was also a different director. Because Colin Trevorrow was supposed to direct Star Wars Episode 9, so he had to only a producer role on this movie, but he's taking the reins of the next one. So I believe there's going to be more consistent uh,
I hope so.
direction. Yeah. So it was more of a popcorn flick than a cerebral flick.
Okay.
And I watched Infinity War again this week, which was fun. That's a
You
really fun
know, there
movie.
are so many movies in the MCU that I just have not seen, and then the sequels keep coming out, and I don't want to see them because I haven't seen the precursors.
Uh,
Like I made that mistake with Iron Man. I saw Iron Man 3 before watching the first two, and the first two have not showed up on Netflix because I don't know.
yeah,
So I'm in this weird place where it's like, what do I do?
yeah.
Like
I think I have a picture on my phone, which I can probably post in the Discord of the order on which you can watch the movies.
okay,
So I give it to you. And yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
that's pretty much what I've done last week. So let's dive into the topics. So
Yeah, so we were going to
battle,
start off with Battlefield 5, as I recall.
yes,
And there's quite a bit going on with Battlefield 5. There was that it was an investor call, as I recall,
yeah. It's
with
at least
EA.
they made it public throughout that. There were two big things that happened in regards to that game. Patrick Soderlund, the basically the vice president of EA, and the president of was it Dice? He's at least the head honcho
Senior
for Battlefield.
executive, yeah.
Yeah, he's basically the head honcho. He's of Battlefield 5,
Hmm.
and he I don't because he could have continued his stint with EA, but he I think he saw the writing on the wall because Battlefield is basically his baby, and
Hmm.
the pre-orders have been very weak.
Compared to prior years and compared to what else is coming out around that same time, yeah. I mean, it's he's basically Battlefield 5 is basically sandwiched between Red Dead Redemption 2 and Black Ops 4. And of the three, only one of them actually looks good. And it's not Battlefield and it's not Call of Duty.
Nope, that is true.
Now,
And
that said, I was watching a video that Smitty posted on YouTube of some Battlefield 5 alpha footage. And it looks like he's having fun with the multiplayer. So hopefully, like, here's hoping they at least get like some of like the like because one of the things he was commenting on was that like the Battlefield 1 and Battlefield Hardline did not feel quite right compared to Battlefield 3 and 4, which Smitty got his start with. Actually, I found out about Smitty through his absurdity and fun and glitch videos of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4.
hmm,
So I trust his judgment when he says that the game feels more like classic Battlefield, because he's somebody that's sunk a shit ton of hours into the older Battlefield games, and he's somebody who is not unwilling to critique a game and say, "Hey, this feels weird." Like he actually came out and said as much about Battlefield 1, shortly after it came out, and he didn't play it nearly as much. He did a couple of funtages, and that was it. Um, I get the impression that he's going to give Battlefield 5 a chance, and if he doesn't, it actually turns out good. I'm absolutely okay with that.
yeah, look, my I'm gonna say what my issue is. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I've also seen other people's having the same argument. But it's not the gameplay, but it's everything that's been surrounding the game. That's been
Bingo.
that's been just a frustration. I don't know. It doesn't anger me, but it's a real frustration.
Well, and that's actually a great segue into the two subtopics for this with Angry Joe basically flying off the rails. You sent me that video before we got started, and I watched about half of it, and it was pretty cringy. I not gonna lie, that video you sent me was pretty bad.
Yeah, I watched it one time and then rewatched it just before. I couldn't get through all of it because
You
it's so
can't.
bad.
It's so bad. And again, Joe, and like a lot of people, Joe's missing the point.
Yeah, so what I don't get is this guy has been advocating not to pre-order games for how many years now? And now he's mad that people aren't pre-ordering the game.
They're actually taking his advice. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, and EA, I can't remember if it was Patrick Sutherland. I suspect it was. Don't quote me on that. But he's the one who went to Polygon and said, if you don't like women in Battlefield or something in that regard, don't pre-order the game or something in that tune. Like if you
No,
don't like it,
it
don't
wasn't
buy.
Soderlund, but it was somebody else. I know what you're talking about because we actually covered it on one of our prior podcasts.
Yeah, and
Um,
it was basically if you don't like our politics in this game, don't pre-order the game or don't buy the game. And
and of
people
course, the
aren't.
irony in that is people just went, okay, and that was that.
Yeah, and from what I saw with Angry Joe is he's basically using this political argument instead of actually looking what people are saying to me, and he's also deleting comments from his.
That's yeah, yeah. There's a little thing called the Streisand effect, and he would do well to remember it.
Yeah, and I looked through quite a few of his comments, and they were calling him out because they let's see, I believe I have the video
There
here.
was one comment that stuck out to me. Let me pull that back up here. Um, from oh yeah, Abe's Mission Control had a really good or no, not, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. It was where was it? Here we go
Yeah,
from James about 3 hours ago, talking about how the day of the trailer dropped, EA began responding to all criticism by declaring that the fans hated women, and he talked about how he saw the Battlefield subreddit people would complain about weapon design, and the response would be, "Oh, you just hate women," and it's like, no, dude, what? No, no, it's like, are you not even listening to what I'm saying here? And now, and he's like, now I don't know if you realize it, but at this point, there's something of a pattern that when a company begins dropping that old canard, the work it's attached to is going to be bad. It's happened so many times now that it's practically a rule of logic in and of itself, with many works that embrace this tactic failing. Can you seriously blame anyone for seeing that nonsense and running for the door? Especially when the response by EA was quite literally, if you don't like us calling you woman haters, don't buy it.
yeah, and there's also a very good comment by Drive By. He has a nice pun, or he uses wordplay, but anyway, vote with your wallet. Why are you people happy? Others are voting with their wallet in quotation marks. Maybe
Mm,
they shouldn't tell their customers not to buy something and boast historical representation with women all over the place, which isn't historical, going from the death counts of men who died in World War II, and not just women. Captain Hook Hand handicapped women. Honestly, the women thing isn't the main issue as much as they went full tired putting some prosthetic hand on a soldier and having her better than trained soldiers. I know. Historical shooter where I regenerate health. But let's not be dumb and pretend you don't know what that means. The settling and story can be realistic while the gameplay play is fun.
yeah, I read that one too, and that one was also pretty spot on. It's not the, and that actually brings us to the next one. I've got that picture. I don't know if you could like throw that up on the YouTube chat with Eric Nordius and Ryan Duffin on Twitter.
Hold on one sec.
Sure, sure.
There we go. Copy.
Yeah, share
And
that. Share that shit.
that's yeah. So we
No,
also
no.
we also
Do a screen share. Put it up on yours so we can get it in the embedded in the video. I've got it up on mine here as well. Um,
let's yeah, here screen share.
there you go. So we can just get it into the video because otherwise it won't make. Otherwise it makes a bit less sense here. Um, this this Eric Nordeus guy here. Oh my God, patience of a saint. Like this guy, like Duffin was trying to bait him so hard, and Eric was not falling for it like the entire way. Like he was like, no, no, I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not gonna take the bait. But like he's actually, to me, this comes off as like a genuine. I'm concerned about this thing, and you're gonna laugh in my face about it. And to be honest, I can't fault Eric for it. I mean, he the best part is he's like there were people. It was the Fortnite models. Fortnite, you mean because there's girls? It's like no, the models with blue camouflage metallic arms and those who look like they're from some Rambo movie. And
Yeah,
Duffin,
he just doesn't get it. He just
yeah,
doesn't get it.
well, no, I think he does, and he was trying to bait Eric into making a mistake and saying something so that he could twist it and strawman it.
Yeah, either that, but both of the things are very bad. Either this guy has no idea what he's talking about, or he's being very malicious, trying
Yeah,
to stir up things that is very unnecessary.
yeah, definitely.
And that's not good. I mean, and it's Ryan Duffin. He's at EA, right?
Yeah,
he was.
he's not quite a lead, but he's above a rank and file grunt. I don't
Yeah,
remember where exactly, but he does have some management capacity.
yeah. And I mean, this almost smells like the Jessica Price thing, which we also covered in a
Mhm.
previous.
Yeah,
It's
we
almost
talked about that. Yeah,
borderline. Yeah,
you
it's
can't be
almost.
attacking your audience. We keep going back to that, but it's like it's the same shit every single time.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like it's such a simple rule, and
It
if
is. It really
and
is.
if there's some just random guy on Twitter shitting on you or the game or whatever, just say thank you for the feedback and we'll get back to you, or something very
You can
generic.
you can throw some generic PR not non-answer and just write them off.
Yes, exactly. But this isn't
And
it.
that would work. Like that would like it would silence the overall thing. Well, granted, you can't keep your head in the sand for too long. Eventually, you're gonna have to say no, you were wrong, and leave me alone. But at the same time, you can let the PR guys deal with that, so you don't
Yes,
have to mess with it.
and I mean, it just
What do I
seems
know?
like yeah, we're just two random dudes talking about some things we're passionate about, and I mean,
I like the description that Sid Alpha uses. He says, "I'm just a mook with a mic." That's basically what we are. Let's be honest here.
yeah, and I mean, look, I don't really care if there are women or minorities or Captain Hooks or whatever in the game, but don't present it as historical accurate and as a World War II game. You could have like if you say said from the get go on the reveal stream. Oh, this is our alternative history take on World War II, but it's still gonna be in that setting, and we're trying to be a little bit authentic, but we have our alternate take on it. Not just
Or you could start this protagonist as working in one of the motorcades, which was a very common role for women, not necessarily front lines, but that was a very common thing. Say they were doing motorcade in Paris and or one of the smaller towns and hit by a blitzkrieg.
yeah. I
And
mean,
so now all of a sudden she's forced into a combat role because she has no choice. That could work. I mean,
Yeah,
just saying, like you could turn, you know, it would be you could there's enough plausibility in that you could say, yeah, that's something that we could see happening. That's something that could be a thing, you know. And then you've got a great story of triumph arising out of adversity, placed in a position where she doesn't want to be, and rising to the occasion. It would make for a great story. It would satisfy the oh, this is just a merry stew. You'd there would be no argument for woman hating of any sort because it's an interesting character.
yeah, and but what my take is just from the trailer and how they marketed it. Like they could have done that as well as you said, and have a more realistic take, and just have a scenario, and make it like that. But from what we just got from them right now, they should have just told us this is an alternate history
Yeah,
take on it, and
like
they
with
didn't.
Resistance,
Yeah.
where they had women on the front lines there, or forward or at least running FOB capacity because they needed to because there weren't enough people. I mean, like something like that would make sense.
I mean,
Just
the
saying.
the only ones that had any combat role that did anything were Russian sniper women who
There was a Czech contingent as well as I recall.
I'm not familiar with
Was it
that, but
was there it had come up in one of the in one of the things. There were not just the Russian snipers, but there was there was a group of it was either Poles or Czechs, and I can't remember which one to save my life now. But a similar sort of thing, similar
yeah,
setup. Crack shots. Everybody hated them.
they might have been Polachek. I just know they were on the Russian side of things. So I'm not 100% sure because I'm not too familiar with the Eastern Front in regards to
Yeah.
Second World War. But I
And there
mean,
was the daughter of French Admiral de Gaulle was given a rifle to defend Idderstein in Austria
yeah, I
at the
mean,
end of the
see,
war.
I mean, there are so many possibilities to
But
tell
she was a
stories.
POW at the time too, so I mean, like the whole Battle of Idderstein is just one big Benny Hill yakety sax sketch. Like from start to end. It's a funny skirmish. If you ever get the chance to look into it, you totally should because it like Wikipedia does not do the battle justice. Like it could be there could be a Hollywood movie about it and make it into an action comedy because it is just so completely ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's ripe for it.
yeah, I mean, it's just generally there are so many possibilities, but it just feels like there are some people within either EA or Dice pushing
Both.
politics. Yeah, could be both as well, and just pushing narrative in regards to politics in a game that doesn't need it. I mean, SGW. We how many games sold well because they pandered to SGWs? I mean, what was the game called that Lee Alexander shilled so hard? Was it called Sunshine or something like that?
I don't even. You know what? I just stopped paying attention to that. Anytime that we started seeing a hard shill of almost any sort, really. I usually start to drown it out, especially when it becomes an aggressive "you're either with us or against us" shilling.
Yeah,
That's where I just start zoning out. I'm like, great, you guys have fun.
yeah,
I am obviously not your preferred clientele. I will let you find the customers that you seek, but it is obviously not me. I'm going to leave you alone. Please grant me the same courtesy. And that's basically what I do at that point because it's not worth getting into.
yeah. But it's just regarding that game. Just wanted to use that as an example for that game was basically the on the pedestal of what an SGW game is. It was basically an FMV game with point and click elements, and it sold what 1,000 copies in its release week, and it bombed so hard. Like these SGWs don't really care. It's the hardcore fans. Always go for the hardcore fans and try to bring in the casual audience with some broader appeal and good marketing. You don't do it by pandering to SGWs who
Well, you
always
don't.
complain about them.
It's less that. It's more you don't build an audience by attacking potential customers. And it
Or the
doesn't
cut.
matter. And it does not matter if they lean left, right, or
Yeah,
wherever. You don't attack potential customers.
completely
That
correct.
it,
But it's not.
you could have a very left leaning game. That's cool.
Yeah,
But if you're gonna attack if you're gonna attack somebody because they say, hey, I don't like that, you're going to lose more. You're going to lose more than you will win.
yeah. It's not just the potential customer. You also have to remember there are people that have played multiple games in the series that are customers at the moment, and they're basically telling them to fuck off.
There you go.
And that's never ever ever a good marketing strategy ever in history of
Exactly.
anything.
When you attack people who could be customers, people who are your customers will take notice and go, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave. And that's the additional secondary fallout that you risk running into.
yeah. It's not only hinder your growth, but yeah, your current base is also going to turn on you, and
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
yeah,
So I mean, and in regards to this is what kind of the opposite of what segueing into Doom Eternal. Like
yeah.
Bethesda is doing the exact opposite of what Battlefield and Angry Joe are doing. They are actually going after the customers and having fun with it. Like the
Well,
joke
and
that is,
I know the one you're talking about. They're not demons. They're just mortally challenged.
yeah,
Which I can see why they would make the joke because let's be honest, that is pretty funny. And
they added
they did similar stuff back in the day with classic Doom and Doom 2 as well. Like
yeah,
they pulled similar. They made some similar jokes back then, with the whole Satanism and is going to lead kids to devil worship. And I don't remember exactly what the jokes they pulled, but they took a couple pot shots at Tipper Gore and her and the Parents Media Research Council and the other family organizations, the family oriented organizations that were railing so hard against Doom and Mortal Kombat and this, that, and the other stuff.
yeah, and you also had the joke of that hell or something like is a melting pot of different of demons or something like that. It's basically a
Yeah.
jab at politics as well. But I mean, that's not taking the crap or the piss out of the customers. It's just a joke. Like,
Well, and I think more to Bethesda's credit, they did not respond to their critics in anger or attack them either. Really, I mean, they've been largely silent on it. If anything, they're kind of playing it correctly.
yeah, but
They're
sometimes,
not reacting to the reaction. They're not attacking what could be a potential customer or enemy. Whatever your inclination is,
yeah, but
and they're not letting it turn into this huge controversy.
yeah, but sometimes it is probably best to just keep your mouth shut and let things play out how they
It
play
is better
out.
to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than to open it and remove all doubt.
Yeah,
Mark,
and
Mark Twain was a genius in that regard. And I put that as my email signature for years because it was a good reminder to myself that every now and again it's a good idea to shut up.
yeah, and in regards to what we saw in the tweet earlier, where the devs are going out to try and bait and almost try to crap on their audience. And
Exactly.
you also had that. I can't remember if that's the same guy, but he said he basically put women in on the cover and on in the game as prominently because he wanted his daughter. He didn't want to explain to his daughter why he didn't. Uh, s-
I
so I
remember
mean,
hearing about that, and you know what? I worry that they're setting themselves up for failure with that because if the game flops, now he has to explain to his daughter why the game flopped
and
because he
why
did
he
it
got
for her.
yeah, and why he got fired. Like, isn't it better to have to give your daughter the present she deserves and the care she wants but instead you're putting something she might never play or see and
Or and let's be honest, it'll be very quickly forgotten.
yeah, exactly. And
Would you rather? I'd rather see a game that has characters that people look back on fondly and remember for being awesome. I
yeah,
go, oh my god, your dad made that game? I played the shit out of that game when I was a kid. That game is so cool. You know, like
mhm,
think of like classic Sonic. You look back at them now, they're pretty shit, but they were popular games.
yeah,
They had their moments of actual genius and like actually good. And you look back, you know, and say, dude, your dad made Sonic 2. That's awesome.
yeah,
You know, and stuff like that, you know, is really huge. Hey, thank you for the upvote, Mardax. I really appreciate that.
yeah. And
Um, and Jay
just
too. Thank you for the upvotes. I'm getting people are showing up now and saying hi. Awesome.
yeah, if they
Cool. All
have
right.
comments,
Awesome.
if they have comments, just leave a comment
Yeah,
and
if you guys have anything you want to add in with this, we're kind of talking about Battlefield 5 right now, but we've got a couple other topics to include as well. Actually, we just moved over to Doom Eternal. Um, but yeah, if you have comments about if you have anything that's on your mind with the way that EA has been handling the criticism thrown at them, and the way and Bethesda's mortally challenged joke. I would love to hear your takes on that.
yeah, and just like, but I admire Bethesda for not crapping on the
I have
fans.
to clarify a little bit here because Jay just came in and was like, "Hey, classic Sonic games equals trash. What are you going on about here?" So I have to clarify this. They're not trash, but there are a lot of you can tell that there are that early Sonic games, Sonic Team didn't really know quite as much what they were doing. The platforming is good in some areas, but it is glitchy in others, and it's very like you have to take in the classic Sonic games with the rose tinted glasses that you know you're wearing, because by modern standards, there are significant issues with the platforming. You have to go into the games knowing that that exists, and you have to be okay with that. If you go into it with modern platformer standards, you're going to hate the games right out the gate because they are really tough. And there are a lot of bullshit setups that are like designed to make you trip up and lose all your rings or lose your shield or you're going to die. And you have to go in knowing that. You have to go in be prepared for that because it's going to wreck you if you don't. And yeah, Mardax loved that Bethesda mortally challenged joke, you know, because you saw it for what it was—a fucking joke.
Yeah, and it was, and like I said, they're not shitting on their audience. They're handling this in the correct way, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I mean, like we said, don't crap on your audience or on your current audience or potential customers. If they do approach you, just give them the generic answer, or just don't answer them at all, and try to concentrate on making whatever you're making. If it's in this instance, games, movies, music, whatever, just concentrate on that first, and you can deal with everything later on, because in the games industry, you should be focusing on the game, not the politics or the bullshit that surrounds it. You're
Can I
supposed to
offer
make
a
the.
really hot take?
Yeah,
And
go
this is
ahead.
a steamy hot take here. People assume the worst even when you mean the best. And it's very easy to jump at the, oh my god, this person did a bad thing. This person said a bad thing. And really, that's probably the worst possible thing you could do. Really, the best way to handle it is to step back and take a deep breath and realize that, hey, not everybody is going out there with saying what they mean because they want to tear everybody else around them down. And I would say that that's true with Jessica Price. That's true with Battlefield 5. That's true with uh, Honey Badger Brigade. I would say that's true with what was the other big one
A-
recently? That's
Angry
true with
Joe.
Star Wars. That's true
Yeah.
with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it out there as a steamy hot take that perhaps perhaps somebody with criticism is not going at it because they want to be a dick. They're not going at it because they want to tear you down, but they want to help and they want to make things better.
Yeah. That is also very, very good.
It's weird because that shouldn't be a hot take, but suddenly it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's like, what
mean,
the fuck? I mean, it's like,
yeah. You know my frustrations with Star Wars, but it's just yeah.
I know your frustrations because they're the exact same ones that I hold.
Yeah.
And hello to
Um.
Shinobi Brands. Good to see you as well.
So we're almost 40 minutes in. So let's do the big topic of the last week, which is the main first topic that is on the YouTube stream. It's Monday Matt.
Mundane Matt, yeah. So I know a little bit about this, but he's called out others for like flagging and for like mass flagging of YouTube accounts, and now he's doing the same thing.
I can give you more of the context of
Okay.
what set this off because I basically almost watched the entire stream where this all unfolded. So I think this slowly, for me at least, it started with because I just recorded something before we started the stream, and I think for me personally, it started to my distrust for Roman Emad was in regards to Candid, and I lost so much respect for people like Blair
Yeah,
White.
I remember that Candid app, and I remember how it flopped. He was shilling that one pretty hard, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Okay.
you had Armored Skeptic, Shuon had Bearing, Monday Matt, and all of these people uh, shilling it. And the
Yeah.
problem is there was a bot on this app that was being taught how people in the anti SJW community were communicating so it could be used against people. So
Yeah.
they actually, so
I'm going to interrupt you for a moment here because I have a comment from Mardax going back to the Doom. I was upset because SJWs attacked Doom. Doom is a hardcore game and it's focused on being full of blood, flesh, and badass shooter. I agree with you on that. And what's interesting is that you look at the core audience of who would buy a Doom game. It's not the social justice crowd. Let's be honest. I mean,
yeah,
it's not going to be the people that say it's not going to, like, that's not the core audience. There are some though. There's always exceptions to the rule. It's not a hard and fast thing, but at the same time, you have to look at what is going to be the sort of thing that your target audience is going to want to see out of their game, and what sort of humor is going to appeal to them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyways, back to Mundane Matt.
yeah. Yeah, so the whole Candy thing, What through a little bit of back channel stuff, he got basically paid to also go after people on Twitter as well. I think Harmful Opinion found
Interesting.
this out, and this all led to where there were have been in I think the last year there have been Kumite has been flagged several times. If you know what that is, Tonkasaw runs that.
That's
It
the fighting game tournament down in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, Kumite is an internet blood sports thing. He was the guy who started it last
There
November, I
was a
believe.
okay.
He calls the streams for Kumite, and he eventually devolved into Andy Warski starting the whole internet blood sports thing, and he got
Okay,
flagged as
some nuts
well.
then.
Yeah, and then you had fairly accomplished. He got also flagged.
Okay.
You also had a fourth person. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He got flagged several times, and what set all of this off was Ethan Ralph in Ralph Retort. He had a
Yeah.
stream. He had a stream where he showed an old video of Money Matt. I don't want to say this because I don't want to get this stream flagged. It's basically the worst name you can call black people for. Monday
Yeah,
Mate
yeah.
had an old video with a polar bear saying the worst things about black people. And just like 2 or 3 minutes into that stream, he even notified him and DM'd him he was going to talk about this video. And 3 minutes into that stream, he got a strike, and the stream got shut down. And
Well, then there's the whole thing with the guy that was taken down, the conspiracy nut job that was taken down last week. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want your stream taken down because that whack job's turned into Voldemort now. You even say his name, even criticizing him, YouTube will take down your stream for it.
yeah,
There was a
and
video that was posted on Twitter talking about it. There was a video podcast, kind of like what we do, on YouTube, and the guy was saying, "Yeah, I'm glad this guy's gone." And then they got notified that their stream was taken down. They were issued a strike for talking about him.
yeah,
And
and
it's like,
yeah, it's
you guys want
bonkers.
Voldemort? Because this is how you get Voldemort.
Yeah, and what then happened? I can't remember which channel this was on, but they started a new stream on another channel, and they basically said it has to be Monday Matt who flagged this channel because there can be no other explanation. And after about lying for about an hour, they said, "Okay, let's settle this. Screen share. Use the go to this link where it shows all of what you have reported and flagged. It's basically YouTube/reported content or something like that." And he refused to share this for like 15 minutes, and people were getting very, very suspicious. And in the end, he shared the screen, and there was a shitload of people he had flagged on that, which I said Annie Worski, Tonka Saw, Failure Accomplished, and several other people. And probably we don't know if he used that channel, if he removed the content strike, or he used another, if he used another channel or account of his. But basically, he flagged on other people's stream for talking about him, and that's basically the best TLDR I can do of the whole situation.
Do you want Voldemort? Because this is how you get Voldemort. It's like, I mean, that's basically how that goes down.
Yeah, and Money Matt, as we know, he's basically what kickstarted Gamergate because he was getting false flagged. And almost 4 years later, to the anniversary, he fucking does the same. It's just someone falling from grace so freaking hard. And it's very
Well,
sad to see.
you know what's funny? I bet there are people that say the same thing about Ian Chong
Yeah.
when you think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I know.
It's my side's the right side, and that's the way it is.
I'm kind of neutral to him. I don't really have an opinion on me. I see his tweets all the time, but
Yeah,
um
he's right sometimes, he's wrong other times, but to the guy's credit, like he he realized what he was doing was wrong, and he stuck to his guns.
yeah,
He stuck to his guns when he changed, when he apologized. He said, he made amends to the people that he felt he had wronged, and the apologies were accepted. But then the people that would have supported him in the past turned on him, and he stuck to his guns and said, "Hey, I feel like I'm doing the right thing here." Whether you like the guy or you hate him, you can't argue with having with the character that he with his character admitting when he was wrong and trying to make things better.
that is true. I do have a lot of respect for him. He
You
doesn't
have to
always
you have to respect that. Even if you don't respect everything he says, you have to respect him admitting that he was wrong and wanting and making an earnest attempt to improve himself.
yeah. I don't always agree with everything he says, but yeah, I definitely respect him for that. And I just think the worst thing you can do to a YouTuber, especially people who rely on streaming, where people donate and
Hmm.
you false flag them, that's a I don't have a better word for this, but that's basically a bitch move.
Well, I keep telling you, you should get your computer upgraded and come on over to DLive. I mean, left, right, or otherwise, DLive is pretty open to, if you're not openly calling for attacking someone and you're not like this sort of criticism is allowed, but like, no, this person needs to die, and I want, and I we need to go raid this person's channel. We need to go raid this person's channel and tell them they're a terrible person. That sort of thing's not going to fly very well, and you're not going to get very many upvotes, and you're not going to do very well. But if you're building people up, like, DLive as a community is very collaborative and community driven, and we're going to help build each other up. I mean, you've got David Packman on here, Sam Cedars on here. You've got somebody was restreaming Infowars on here just a couple days ago. I saw it. I saw it in the list of streams. You run the gamut, and like, they're not going to tell you that you are in the wrong for that. But like, somebody was rebroadcasting the World Cup, and they got taken down pretty quick for obvious reasons. Like, you're not, as long as you're not doing illegal stuff that's not going to get them sued into oblivion, you're allowed to speak your mind.
Yeah, but I also think that's basically flagging people, wherever, whatever platform it is
Mhm.
just a bitch move.
It is.
It's
In bird culture, we call that a dick move.
yeah,
I mean,
and
and then that's pretty universal. Let's be honest. Yeah, and Mardax did the entire was in the same boat. He switched from YouTube to DLive and Steam it entirely. If you're doing something wrong, people will show you. But at the same time, if you're doing things right, they'll build you up. And Steam it as a community has been very collaborative. Like, that was what I noticed, was it is a collaborative community. It They seek to build people up, not tear them down.
yeah, no, that is fair enough. And
And and that, like, especially with the nature of social media nowadays, it's either vanity or attack everybody that's not you and your clique,
or
or
echo chamber.
right. And Minds, like, because you and I are both on Minds as well. It's
Hmm.
not a bad community, but it doesn't have the same collaborative spark that I've noticed with Steam, and I would love to see that collaborative spark just finally make its way there, because you never want to wish ill will on a network, on a social network. I don't ever want to say, oh, I wish that network dies, because someday that's going to be the network that's going to be the social network that you're really passionate about. At the same time, you also have to be like, okay, if this network's going to thrive, it needs to do it. Certain changes are going to need to happen, and frankly, I try and start in, foster that, you know, as best I can, I suppose. That's
Yeah.
partially why I post my stream announcements to Gab and Minds, because it's like, you know, it's shilling for a different site, but at the very least, it's not like, you know, I'm doing some woodworking. I'm making cosplay. I'm making cosplay stuff. I'm playing video games and having fun. If I can be the one guy that does that and shares a little bit and has like something positive, why not?
Yeah, but you see, I mean, just generally, you have a more collaborative effort to build people up, and I just again we go back to the same argument, like don't attack other people or your audience because
Ding, ding, ding.
Monday Matt is suffering the consequences of doing that because he's lost like 10,000 subscribers in 10 days.
Oof.
and and he's been struggling to get new subscribers because that's basically all he earned so far this year.
Yeah.
And he hasn't even addressed his the issues. He made a Tumblr post and put it on Twitter, even though he's a YouTuber. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Because of course he did.
And I
And it's
mean,
funny that you mentioned Tumblr, because the way I always describe Steemit to people who don't know what Steemit is, I describe it as Tumblr minus the terrible people. Because that's basically what it is. It's you share stories about your life, you share pictures, you interact with people, and the people there are actually halfway decent people.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. Again, this is the same goddamn argument we just talked about with Battlefield 5.
Yeah, and
You go.
for my listeners on D Live, the people watching, if I'm right or if I'm wrong, please let me know. If you agree with that statement, let me know. If you think I'm completely off in left field, please let me know, because it's that's what makes these like if I'm wrong, tell me, please.
Yeah, but just it's the same argument we keep reiterating so many times.
Yeah.
Like, if you fuck up, even after you've done the fuck up, let's say you have done this fuck up, like Manemat has done, where you have basically screwed people out of money and opportunities and things like that, but you can fix it by telling who you've done wrong, be completely transparent, basically hold your hands up and say, yeah, I've just been so frustrated with YouTube or whatever his issues has been, but don't just.
Or just say, I made a mistake, I fucked up,
Yeah,
TIFU.
yeah,
And if it's earnest, the community around you will notice.
yeah.
People can tell if you're earnest. They can tell if you're lying. They can tell if you're if you're doing it to try and save face. They can tell if you actually care.
And I don't think that's what Mundane Matt is doing, because on the stream and afterwards, he's basically blamed it on mental health issues instead of taking responsibility.
And it's just like what Philip Mewson did over at IGN. Another topic we didn't cover as much. I don't know if we covered it on our last broadcast. Philip Mewson used to be a writer for IGN, not anymore, because it came to light that he had plagiarized a video review of Dead Cells almost to a T. Like the timing, the way the sentences were structured, it was basically a copy word for word. And so IGN pulled it, pending review.
We talked about it in depth last time. So
okay.
if
Well,
no, I'm just saying, if people want to have the long conversation we had, they can watch the previous. But yeah, that one, it's another example of the same issue of someone just screwing up, and the apology did. I think it's probably worse than maybe Among
Yeah,
the
his,
Nuts
his
if it's
yeah Philip's apology video was not an apology video, and in fact he fucked up even harder. He called out Jason Schreier, told him to dig through his stuff and say and find because all of his stuff was squeaky clean. Well, Jason dug. Oh boy, did he dig! And it found out that he even plagiarized his resume.
yeah, and
So
he
now it's coming down even harder on him, which it's
yeah, be careful what you ask for.
the kid is not going to have another shot in journalism. Like he's done. Like nobody is going to take him on anymore. And you don't wish ill will on somebody, but at the same time you look at this and go, dude, you fucked up. Dude, you fucked up. And
Yeah,
yeah.
foobar. That's the
Yeah.
best way to describe it. Fucked up
So
beyond all
Mundane makes an
recognition.
interesting point in my comments here, in my comments section here. You can't hide things on Steam that easily like in other sites. Honesty is important. And that's true. That's very true. I agree with him on
That's just
that.
generally in life as well. Like, be
Yeah.
freaking honest.
Mhm.
Like, you can't like the apology he did, because he the only thing that Philip Mewson did in the apology video, which he deleted. So I haven't seen. I saw. I think it was Layman Gaming who chopped it up. So I saw at least somewhat of the whole thing. But like he basically said, "Oh, good luck to Boomstick Gaming," but he didn't even apologize to him, and he said, and it felt like he let someone else write the review for Dead Cells. I don't even because he left it kind of vague in that so-called
Yeah.
apology video, and that's if that is true, that's just holy crap. That's just even worse. So you're not even writing your stuff yourself. You're letting someone
He
else write it
copied a
for you.
NeoGAF forum post in one of his videos. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, and this guy is so freaking done. Like, and
He's
when
gone.
you make Jason freaking Schreier look good, holy
That's
shit,
something. Because I have Jason is respected in journalism circles, and I recognize that. However, given what I've seen of his interactions with members of the game development community and the way he has handled himself in certain situations, I don't respect much of what he does. I have respect for certain parts, but not all. Him digging in was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. I like. There's a little bit of Schadenfreude to be had in that, just a little bit. And in that case, I'm like, you know what? Well done, Mr. Schreier. Good job. You may have blocked me. You'll never see this, but you know what? I'll tip my hat to you for this one. I just about knocked over a glass.
I mean, his page on Deep Freeze is just it tells its own story.
It
For
leaves
those
much to be
who
desired. It really does.
have, let's see who has the most entries. Let's see.
It's not Jason.
Uh,
It's Lee Alexander has the most.
no, actually, he got overtaken by Chris Ligman. Who the hell is
Oh,
Chris Ligman?
no idea.
Where?
All right, whatever.
Let's just see where is oh, Jason Schreier is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 7th place with 10
Yeah,
entries. So he's really freaking bad. Like he's one of the main reasons we started Gamergate, because holy shit, he just yeah. And
yeah.
if you make someone like him look good, you
That's
holy shit,
you know you fucked up.
yeah,
Like,
you fuck. And
yeah,
yeah, just Monday. I don't know if because Monument used to follow me. I even had him on this channel where I interviewed him when I actually
yeah.
still had some respect for him.
I think I was part of that interview. I know. I think I was part of one of those hangouts actually.
Yeah, and but
That was a
after
long.
that,
Dude, holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's like 3 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I started to lose respect for him when we had our Gamergate streams. This is just some inside baseball for but we had a one stream where I think you were a part of it, and I suddenly got some information about Brianna Wu getting sued.
Yeah, that does sound familiar. Yeah, no, it was somebody had faked a criminal complaint because I was there for that one.
Yeah, and I got some information about that, her getting sued or something like that, and we wanted to verify that before
Yeah,
because we kind of ended the stream there, and we wanted to verify.
yeah. No, it,
And
it, it wasn't it wasn't getting sued. It was somebody came forward saying that they had a copy of a criminal complaint against Brianna.
yeah, that might be true, and
Yeah,
we
that was the
wanted
one.
to.
I remember that. And we because I remember specifically like watching like I had the because I had my I had my dual monitor set up and I had the Google, I had the Hangout on my right monitor. I had my Twitter up on my left monitor. I was watching, just waiting for him to as the tweets were coming in, and I was interrupting the conversation with, "Hey, we got another tweet. We got another tweet." This sort of thing. I remember that.
Yeah, and the guy DM'd me, and what the thing also was
Yeah, and that
the
was just
Monday.
that would turn out to be a false flag. Yeah.
Yeah, and Monday Matt did, I think, the same day or a day after, before we could verify it. He basically said we had egos on our face because we found something out which might not have been true, and
To be
basically
fair though, we
trashed.
did. To be fair though, we did get a little excited about that before we had all the facts.
Yeah,
Let's
but
be
we
honest.
said yeah,
Let's be
but
honest. We were a little bit overzealous about that one.
true.
I will admit I will agree with him on that.
True, but the way he just made a whole video about us for some reason and just trashed us the entire video, which
Yeah,
was that's when because like he could have come to me at
that's a bit
any
much.
freaking
Yeah.
point. Yeah, and he could have come to me at any point, and he of course apologized to me on a stream afterwards. You remember Zan, the Spurg Zan? He had his own 4chan streams. Anyways, and too much
I don't remember
inside.
that one.
No, but I was in with Monday Matt and
Okay,
a few other guys, and he
gotcha.
apologized. But
Okay,
it just feels like Monday Matt does this stuff, either insults people, flags people, whatever it is, and or the stuff with Canon, and then has to apologize afterwards because he fucked up.
it's the site you're seeing a pattern, a cycle, and it's just you're not seeing change.
Yes, and that's my point. Like I really liked Money Match on until the late 2015 because I thought he was becoming more dishonest and riding the Gamergate wave and trying to earn money off of it with a meme that is turn off that pesky ad block, and
Yeah.
that's become a meme right now, and
Hmm.
that's why I'm so frustrated because I really freaking like the guy and his channel and what he was doing, and that's
Going back to that turn off that pesky ad block was a reason why I use ad nauseum on Firefox because it blocks the ads, but then also clicks on them, so the website owner gets paid for it.
nice.
That's what
Sounds good.
and it basically it poisons your advertising profile, costing the advertisers money and getting nothing in return. So the site basically is like, all right, we're getting paid for it. Hey, we're getting clicks. Okay, awesome. Of course, you don't want to do 100% click rate, or they're going to realize you're just a bot farmer, and they're going to disable it. So I usually run about it like a 30% click rate on it, and you know, cost these websites a couple grand a year.
Yeah, I have ad block turned off on YouTube, so people get some ad revenue. That's and some other sites that I believe deserve it and aren't just filled with spam. So
Yeah,
I actually
I'm
do
actually kind of
support some.
surprised. I thought I would have had more ads, but apparently not. Since May of this year, I've only racked up about $47 on this computer. Huh.
Oh well, $47 is better than nothing.
That's what they've cost, huh?
Yeah. All right, I think we've covered everything. I mean, are there any comments about anything we talked about?
Hardak says salty.
Who, me? No,
No,
I'm.
no, Matt.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I'm like I've more invested in someone when I've actually liked them and had something invested in them, and I actually talked to them, and then they do something like that. That's why you feel more betrayed. Unless if it's just some random guy who's going around flagging people, that's just, oh, look at that, that's an
Mhm.
asshole. But you have had some encounters with the guy and watched his videos. That's just, it just feels like a stab in the
It
back. Not
stings.
only, yeah,
It stings. Yeah,
exactly.
I'll agree with you on that. Mm. Got a tickle
and and
nose.
that's why it just feels way worse, probably to some, especially those who
Mhm.
followed him and supported him, either through watching his video, through Patreon, or whatever, just supporting the guy. And it just feels like crap, like how
Yeah.
he's treated his audience. But I mean, I like to believe in karma, and
Uh-huh.
that what goes around comes around, and it feels like the thing that's happening to Matt right now is karma, because it
Yeah,
doesn't seem like he's learning from his mistakes, and basically shit catches up to you and bites you in the ass.
that's true. Oh, I have one other thing to share as well. Update. We talked a couple weeks ago about the Spyro collection, the remastered collection,
Yeah,
only including the first game on the disc, and the other two were download only.
yeah, that's just.
Well, it turns out that the Spyro Remastered Edition is getting delayed because they're putting the other two games on the disc, and they have to send it to the press.
Oh, interesting.
Uh huh.
That's at least better than I mean,
Well, at least
probably
Activision
because.
listened, with Young Ye and Legacy Killa and all these other YouTubers just lighting them up for it.
Yeah, but it's, you need to own your games, because the I don't know if you shared it in the Discord, but the one person who had like thousands of bucks invested in
Yeah,
EA
in
Origin.
Origin, yeah, I saw that this past week. Yeah, that was huge. Like that, and the fact that they didn't have any record of the guy at all is really shady.
Yeah,
Like no
no,
record
but
at all.
they found him on they basically went through the code of the site, because they can't go through the code on Origin, but they went on origin.com and found his source code, that he was part of the site.
Right,
So they,
but EA refused to acknowledge that though was the issue.
yeah, yes, exactly. And this guy just lost his account, everything, microtransaction, time spent, achievements, and games,
Progress.
everything. Yeah, everything. Because EA are incompetent in regards to customer service. But it looks like he's getting his games back, but he's not getting his microtransaction back.
Which sucks
Yeah.
because
I
that
should
that
get.
can be just as much, if not more. You heard about the guy with the GDPR? Got the list of all of his FIFA Ultimate Team purchases. Dude spent $12,000 on FIFA Ultimate Team in 2 months.
Jesus. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean it's like wow. But he shared some of the data that EA has, and they have a lot. Like not just like win loss record, but when he purchased, what he purchased, what he was more likely to purchase again.
Yeah, I mean, there was a guy here in my city who did a study. It may sound stupid when you hear of it, but he spent, I believe it was $30,000 to research what do you actually get from EA in the FIFA Ultimate Team. Is it worth it? Are they
So researching drop
transparent?
rates.
Yeah, exactly. The uh,
Wow.
and he found out you only get 50% of your worth back, or if you compare it to the market value and what you can
Hmm.
get off the black market, because you can sell your cards
Hmm.
on the black market.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not worth it to put money into FIFA Ultimate Team at all.
Crazy. That is
And
crazy.
because he spent enough money to actually back what he said up. So yeah, and for a company like EA just deleting someone's account completely, he should get some compensation for that crap. Like
You'd think
he
so. You'd think they'd throw him a bit more of a bone, but I guess not. Got a couple comments here. Shinobi Brands saying, also, I don't trust YouTube or social media at all with anything. It's like people would do anything for attention and money. That's very true. Yeah. And then the next comment. And these scrubs hate Doom because it's too violent? Lol. What is this, 1993?
true. That is
It's
true.
true. It really is. I mean, it really is true. And Mardax has a big thing. EA is just EA now, not like a decade ago or 15 years ago. It's kind of sad. Need for Speed Underground 2 was my childhood, and now is this. Which, I mean, that's true. You look at the most recent EA Need for Speed with the literal slot machines in it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Underground is the shiznit. Like I played that game religiously when I was I just mastered that game so much, and I would
I dated a
love
girl who played a bunch of Underground on the GameCube.
yeah, I would be play the Underground, or if there's a remaster of it, I would buy that in a heartbeat, because those, well, one and two were so good, but especially two. They
You would buy Underground knowing full well what EA would do to it.
Not if they screw with it, I wouldn't buy it. But the idea of it, I would
Yeah.
buy. But we know EA, and yeah, they screw things up constantly. So
Surprise, surprise.
yeah. Is there anything else we should cover? We've gone over an hour now, so
I think that's everything that I had.
yeah, we've covered some additional topics as well. So unless there are some more comments, then I think it's time to our outro.
We need to get you a better computer so you can start streaming on D Live. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah, I know. All right. Well, I put
I
all
know
of
my guys here. I know the guys that are tuning in here would love to see you join in.
yeah. I'm gonna try my best. I put all of your links in the YouTube description. So if
Cool.
people
And then
want to,
I'll edit the description on this stream so I can put yours in there. Just make sure you resend them to me one more time.
yeah, and anyone watching, they can join the Discord. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
very chill place. You can talk about anything you want. Like, I think have only ever banned one person because
Yeah, that
it
sounds about
was
right. We did have to tell two. We did have a couple people get into it, and we had to basically give them a go take half an hour to cool off, and then we'll bring it back in.
yeah, and one of them couldn't
Never
handle
came
that.
back.
So
Like
yeah,
one of them was like whatever, piss off, and it was just yeah, it was whatever. I was like, actually I was the one that kicked the both of them and said sent them both DMs. Was like, okay guys, we're following protocol here. We're just gonna kick you for half an hour. Then we'll reset, and I'll resend a server invite. Just take 30 minutes. Just cool off, chill. We'll be fine, and everything will be fine. And that was basically it. But yeah, no, I'll put the link to the Discord in there.
yeah, and
And
it's a very friendly place. I mean, we talk about anything, and that's the only issue we've ever had with the Discord, was when it got too heated, and yeah.
cooler
But
heads always prevail. Let's be honest.
yeah, and people are more than welcome to. I mean, they can even choose their own roles when they come into it. I mean, we have what is it, normie, sexy
Yes, the
woman.
normies.
We have the Gamergate supporters. We have also the shitlords. So,
Shitlords, yeah. The sexy women. There are no girls
yeah.
on the internet. This is the internet. The men are men, the women are men, and the children are FBI agents. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, that is completely correct.
You know I'm right.
Yeah, that is true. All right, I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for watching, and see you
yeah,
guys
thanks for
next
tuning
time.
in.
Bye bye.